What's up and welcome to another WWE Top 5 video, and thanks to a comment that was left on my 5,000 subscriber special announcement, there is a comment right there on your screen. Thank you to StarKiller2102. I am very happy to know that you are enjoying the content and you are looking forward to much more in the future. This video is about WWE 2K16 predictions and what I believe will be in the upcoming DLC packs. Now, as of this date, October 5th, there has not been any confirmed names for the upcoming WWE 2K16 DLC packs. So today I am going to try and break down some of my favorite superstars and most realistic superstars that could be in the downloadable content list for the upcoming months. Now, before we get started, remember you leave your comments down below and I'll try and get to that very soon. Now let's get into it. Here we go. Number 5. So the title for this one will be Women's Revolution. We have Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Victoria, Ronda Rousey, and as a free DLC bonus, you will get Becky Lynch. Now for this top 5, I have chosen the most realistic type DLC that you could possibly imagine. Now I could have easily named this pack the 4 Horsewomen Divas Revolution, but no, this is the Women's Revolution. Bayley, current NXT Women's Champion. You also see Charlotte, your current Divas Champion. You also have Sasha Banks, the boss of the Women's Division. And you also see a surprise name right there, Victoria. Victoria is also known to be a revolutionary woman in the WWE. Back in early 2002-2003, Victoria went up against Trish Stratus and they had brutal matches. It all started off with jealousy and it went on to a hardcore match. So if you want to talk about Divas Revolution, you have to put Victoria's name in there no matter what. Ronda Rousey, although she is signed with the UFC, you have to put her name up there too, because WWE 2K16 is pretty much based around WrestleMania 31. It would be ridiculous to not put her in the game, but since she is signed to UFC, it is a very high unlikely situation that Ronda Rousey would be in any WWE games. But you could also say the same thing for UFC. It would be highly unlikely for a WWE superstar to be in a UFC game, but then again, Brock Lesnar was just in their video game last year, so you can't judge one company and not fall back onto the other one. So that's why I put Ronda Rousey on that roster. You can't predict what will happen. Now for the free DLC, there has always been a WWE DLC pack where there's always one DLC that you have to download. So why would I put Becky Lynch, the last kicker, into the free DLC? Because she is part of the self-proclaimed 4 Horsewomen: Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley. And Becky Lynch is a sentiment to try and eager people to try and purchase the entire pack. So that is my reasoning for Becky Lynch being a free DLC purchase. Now let's go over to number 4. The name for this one is TakeOver Pack. Now this one ranges from a lot of NXT superstars, so let's get this started. Brian Kendrick, Rhyno, Wesley Blake, Buddy Murphy, Samoa Joe, and for your free DLC superstar, Solomon Crow. Now you might say, why is Brian Kendrick in this? Well, at the early start of NXT this year, Brian Kendrick was in a match. And if you also didn't know, he also taught Eva Marie how to wrestle properly. Now Brian Kendrick is mostly in the background as of late, but why not put Brian Kendrick on the roster? Now for Rhyno, of course, he is the man beast. He is the war machine. And why would you not want Rhyno on that pack? Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, they are a tag team to be recognized in NXT. Former NXT tag team champions, making their entrances with dubstep lasting in the background. Samoa Joe is pretty much the superstar to have on your WWE roster. You cannot go without him. He has been in TNA for the last 10 or so years. So why would you miss an opportunity like this to have Samoa Joe on your roster? And for our free DLC, Solomon Crow, you cannot pass up an opportunity like Solomon Crow to be a free purchase in the TakeOver Pack. You have to choose him, and if you don't, you're just missing out on the entire pack. If you download Solomon Crow, it will get you a preview to what TakeOver Pack would be like. Now let's go over to number 3. King of the Ring Pack. Now this one is self-explanatory, you already know what it is. Now let's go down with these names. King Mabel, Jerry Lawler, Owen Hart, a 2K showcase, and a free DLC purchase would be Ted DiBiase. Now for those 3 men, they have one King of the Ring, much like the main superstar on that WWE 2K16 cover on the WWE Showcase, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now why would you not do this pack? This is pretty much insane to miss out on. You have to choose this pack because it goes along with the story of what WWE 2K16 is talking about. You have King Mabel, famously known as Viscera, Big Daddy V, and the world's largest love machine. He has not been in a WWE video game since SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 as the Big Daddy V character. Now, Jerry Lawler is in the game as a commentator, but he has not been as a wrestler since WWE 12, so Jerry Lawler would be a great addition to the roster and to the downloadable content, so hopefully that would get people to buy it as well. And of course, the self-proclaimed King of Hearts, Owen Hart. Unfortunately, with the untimely death of Owen Hart, he probably will not be in a future WWE game, but he has not been in a wrestling game since WWF Attitude, and even that game was very controversial for him to be on there. So it is very unlikely to see Owen Hart in a future wrestling game, but they are making a documentary about him, so it cannot be denied that he might, and that's a little might, be in a future wrestling game. Now, the 2K showcase is pretty much self-explanatory as well. You could do the King Mabel, you could do the Owen Hart, you could do Brock Lesnar, you could do Edge, you could do anybody pretty much on the roster. Bret Hart, Stone Cold. And the free DLC, of course, is Ted DiBiase. The only reason that I put him as a free DLC in the King of the Ring pack is because he was a former King of the Ring winner. Now, I could see not much people purchasing this one, but if you want to relive the memories such as the 2K showcase on the King of the Ring, plus you have 2015 where Wade Barrett won his King of the Ring, you don't want to miss this one out. So it's a really good purchase to try and relive all the memories from past King of the Ring winners, and also pick up Jerry Lawler, Owen Hart, and of course King Mabel. Now, before we go on, I'd like to throw out an honorable mention to Kurt Angle. Now, I know Kurt Angle is highly, if you talk about highly, I'm just gonna throw it out there, like super high, even higher than the sky. Highly doubt that Kurt Angle would be in any future wrestling game until 2018. So that is why I did not put him on this list. But if I thought that he had a chance, I would definitely put him on this list, but unfortunately, not for a while. Number 2. We're getting down to the end, and let's reveal the name for this one would be Ruthless Aggression Pack. The superstars added to this pack would be the Boogeyman, Eugene, Carlito, Roddy Piper, Eddie Guerrero, and a free DLC purchase of Eric Bischoff. Now, the reason why I chose the Boogeyman for this pack is because WWE 2K16, or pretty much every wrestling game, comes out in late October, and what better way to purchase a wrestling game than to have one of your creepiest, strangest, outrageous characters in the WWE, the Boogeyman. Now, once again, the Boogeyman has not been in a wrestling game since WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, so of course the Boogeyman is one of the people to try and purchase within the Ruthless Aggression Pack. Now, Eugene is also a special case because he has not been in a wrestling game since SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and it would be really awesome to have him on the roster because of his goofiness and silliness during the Ruthless Aggression leading up. He has also interacted with Stone Cold throughout his career, so Stone Cold does have a little bit of story with this, but once again, it might not be taken as a superstar that would be in a roster in the near future because of his character. Now, I see 2015, they won't take that character very seriously, and it appears that WWE wants to be far away from that character as possible, since they don't bring it up at all and it doesn't affect the WWE brand as a positive thing. Carlito is an interesting one. Carlito is apparently rumored to be signing with the WWE in the near future because he is going to team up with his brother and his cousin, who are Diego and Fernando the Los Matadores. Carlito has not been in the wrestling industry for a while now, and Carlito's last WWE appearance was at the WWE Hall of Fame 2015, inducting his father, Carlos Colon. Now, as I said before, there are strong rumors that he might be re-signing with the WWE, but as of now, there are money issues, so who really knows? But Carlito is a strong rumor, so it'll be really awesome to have Carlito in the wrestling game. Rowdy Roddy Piper, a legendary superstar, a Hall of Famer. What a way to remember the Hot Rod. Then to put him in a downloadable content pack, such as the Ruthless Aggression. Now, maybe some people don't know this, but Rowdy Roddy Piper was on SmackDown in the early 2003 years as a sort of a main character and a manager. Now, I'm not looking for the 80s version of Piper. I'm not looking for the 90s version of Piper. I'm looking for the Ruthless Aggression version of Piper. I'm looking for the 2003-ish Piper. I'm looking for that person who would rip off a one-legged wrestler leg. I'm looking for that Rowdy Roddy Piper. And then we go on to Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero, one of the legends, had an unfortunate passing during his wrestling career in 2005, but as I stated with Rowdy Roddy Piper, I'm not looking for WCW Eddie. I'm not looking for Latino Heat Eddie. I'm not even looking for I lie, I cheat, I steal Eddie. I'm looking for
Can you feel the heat?
Now, if you don't remember that version, that was when he turned on Rey Mysterio during a tag team match, and he went on to have multiple matches with Rey Mysterio, and then that eventually turned into a custody signing, and then blah 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 blah. But it was a really good feud, and that was the best Eddie Guerrero that I enjoyed because he was so evil. And the final Eddie Guerrero that we saw when he was going up against Batista for his final match, those two Eddie Guerreros are my favorite. Now, don't believe that I don't like the I lie, I cheat, I steal Eddie, or we lie, we cheat, we steal Eddie. I enjoy those Eddies, but in a wrestling game, we already seen that type of stuff. We already seen Eddie do all that stuff. We already seen those entrances. We already seen those videos of Eddie Guerrero. We want to see the bad guy Eddie. That Eddie Guerrero has not been in a wrestling game since Day of Reckoning 2. And the free DLC purchase is Eric Bischoff because he is currently talking with the WWE and he is having good terms with the WWE at the moment. And what better way to put him in the WWE video game as a playable character? He's not been in a wrestling game since WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2005 as a playable character. So for WWE 2K16 to have him as a playable character would be really interesting. Now, for him to be a free DLC purchase is really smart, because if you want to purchase Eric Bischoff and then you see all the other superstars such as Roddy Piper, Eddie Guerrero, Eugene, then it is a must purchase for the Ruthless Aggression Pack. Alright, now let's go over to number 1. This one is the ECW Originals Pack. Superstars include Sabu, Sandman, Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Taz, Rob Van Dam, and the free DLC purchase of Balls Mahoney. Now, I don't need to tell you why we need Sabu, Sandman, Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Taz, Rob Van Dam. They are pretty much self-explanatory. And why would you not have an ECW Originals Pack? Stone Cold had 2 matches in ECW, and you would not get Joey Styles to do commentary for only 2 matches. So you have to have other feuds. You cannot get an ECW Arena for only 2 matches of Stone Cold for the 2K Showcase. You have to have other ECW superstars, such as Sandman, such as Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer, such as Rob Van Dam, of course. You have to have those superstars. You cannot go without an ECW Arena with those superstars. Now, of course, you can download them from the community creations, but why would you do that? If 2K wants to make money, you should just purchase the DLC from the store, and to get you started, you should start off with Balls Mahoney. Don't count out Balls Mahoney. In ECW, he was known as the chair swinging maniac, so you better watch out for him. Now, I'm sure people would play with him once and then put him down again and say, he's just like a Mick Foley. You play with him once and then you don't want to pick him up again. Or how about if you purchase the entire ECW Originals Pack, then you get all these names. You get more names than any of the other packs. And of course, this is why I put it as number 1, because it will be the final pack for WWE 2K16, which would likely come out in February. And if you wanted to, you could always put a 2K Showcase there. Look at the feuds that you have here. Sabu versus Taz. Remember, Taz broke Sabu's neck. You also have Sandman versus Raven. Those two had a massive feud in ECW. Raven put Sandman on a cross, and that's when Kurt Angle went to the ECW show and it turned him off. You also have Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer. That was a long time feud. Tommy Dreamer didn't want to touch Terry Funk because Terry Funk was like a father figure to him. But eventually they both went at each other and it was a brutal and bloody match. You also have Sabu and Terry Funk in a barbed wire match. You also have Rob Van Dam and Sabu. All of these combinations right here, they all have a story to tell. Only Balls Mahoney doesn't have a story, but still, it's a free DLC, so why would you not pick him up? I mean, hey, you got Mike Whipwreck in the game. He's not even a good wrestler, but still, he's in the game for the first time ever. So that is really awesome for him. But look at these names that you could be picking up as well. Sabu, Sandman, Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Taz, and Rob Van Dam. And of course, the free purchase of Balls Mahoney. Alright people, that is it for this video. Make sure to leave a like down below and a comment to let me know what you thought of the entire video. This took me a lot of time to edit, rearrange the pictures, write me a little script on the notepad to jot down all the superstars' names, and I also had to do a little bit of a research as well to know who's in the roster and who's not in the roster. So please be sure to leave a like and do all that good stuff for this video, because I believe it deserves to be shared around, because it should be noticed that some of these packs right here are more deserving to be as a real DLC for the WWE 2K16 or potentially 17 video game. But that is it for this video. Until next time, Thanks for watching. The name is Dawn Day Evolution, the solution to the gaming community which is littered with pollution. The most electrifying man in all of entertainment. No, I'm not quoting The Rock, I'm just making a statement. I am educated, dedicated, never duplicated. If you stand in my way, you're about to be a meme. Say a life lesson is just to be on top. I live by my motto and just
defeat all odds.